welcome back to another Formula 4 lap guide. This week, we're at Interlagos, which has a lot of low-speed corners. And if you're familiar with the Formula 4 car, you know that it has a tendency to snap into oversteer when transitioning from brake to throttle in these mid to low-speed corners. But by practicing how we release the brake pedal and use the throttle to balance the car through the corner, we can use this oversteer to our advantage to help us be faster through these low-speed corners. And I found that focusing on this technique allowed me to unlock a lot of speed around Interlagos. So, without further ado, let me walk you through a fast lap. Coming across the line as we head into the Senna S, which is a left-right-left chicane that leads onto a long straight. So it's really important that we get hard on the gas just after this left-hander and be flat on the throttle through the right-hander to maximize our exit and maximize our speed onto the straight. We're braking just after this 50 board where the road flattens out. It's a hard brake, but it's really easy to lock up the left front tire as we head into the corner. So I move the brake bias back to 55%, and I'm listening to the front tires as I come into the corner, making sure they don't lock up. I begin peeling off the brake as we come in towards the apex, and I start to get back to throttle, and I'm hard on the gas as we get through the first apex, keeping the car towards the middle of the road though, before immediately turning right, keeping it flat through that right-hander, using all of the curb on the left. We keep the car tight to the left-hand side to minimize the distance traveled. Take a deep breath as we head onto the straight, and head into my least favorite corner on the track, which is a double apex left-hander, where the road falls away from us after the first apex, so we get a ton of understeer. We're braking just after this access road on the right, where the road starts to kink towards the right. It's a hard brake, down into fourth gear. The car wants to oversteer on entry, but as we get towards the apex, the road starts to fall away, and we get a ton of understeer. We use about half of this apex curb. We get hard on the gas just after the apex, being conservative on the exit curb though, because if you go too far to the right there, it'll suck you off the track, you'll lose time, and you'll get a 1x off track. Now heading into a really fast double apex right-hander. As soon as I can see the first apex, I begin turning into the corner and peeling off the throttle. I peel off to about 15% and just slightly dab the brakes to help rotate the car through the corner. We end up right about here mid-corner as we start getting back to throttle. It's alright to miss the second apex as long as you carry a ton of speed through the corner. And as we get to the exit, I'm immediately looking up the road at this kink in the white line. Because just after this kink is where I brake for the tight right-hander. As soon as we get past this kink, we brake hard down into third gear, trail braking all the way into the apex, and using a bit of throttle on entry to help balance the car as we get through this corner. Just tickling the throttle with our right foot until we get through the apex, and then we're hard on the throttle, keeping the car tight to the right as we immediately turn into a left-hander and begin peeling off the throttle, only to about 25% throttle though. Again, keeping some throttle to help balance the car through the corner and make sure we don't oversteer too much. And then we are hard on the gas, using all of the road in the exit, up into fourth gear, immediately looking up at this corner and the tire bundle in front of us. We're braking just after it. Hard brake, down into third gear, again, using a bit of throttle as we get towards the apex to help balance the car, and then hard on the throttle through the apex. The road falls away from us on the exit, really easy to get a 1x off track there, keep the car tight to the left, and just like that, we are heading into the final corner, a super challenging corner, leads onto a long straight. The exit is so important. We're gonna set up with our right-hand tires, just on this blue AstroTurf, and we're braking just after this black mark in front of us. The car will bottom out in this braking zone, it's super uncomfortable, we're down into third gear, and we're immediately on the throttle to help balance the car through this corner. You'll have a ton of oversteer if you don't balance the car with the throttle. Maintaining just a little bit of throttle as we get towards the apex, and as soon as we hit this apex, we're hard on the throttle, just using a bit of the curb on the right, not going all the way over to the AstroTurf, because if you go too far to the right there, you'll bottom out and lose time all the way down this straight. Keeping the car tight to the left, minimize the distance traveled, minimize the lap time, maximize the speed. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to put in a 134.1 here. I hope you guys have a great week of racing. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the support. And I'll see you guys next time.